Hey guys, what's up? It's the Merc
In the Lich Lord.
here for Bullshit Games, and this video is kind of going to be a wrap-up video for Infinity Month because it is the 30th.
Yep,
hopefully this will go up on the 31st.
Hopefully. Yep, just gonna kind of talk about some of the things of our experiences of learning the Infinity game and some of the different stuff that some of the different stuff we think we have developed at and gotten better at, and some of the things that we need to work on. And a few other subjects.
And of course, announcing what next month will be.
Yes, of course. And there's big news in what
big rumblings for upcoming month.
Yep.
But I guess I'll let you can just give your thoughts first, because I kind of recapped what I thought of Infinity on Wednesday, though I do kind of want to talk about the system and the mechanics a little bit. So if you want to talk about like things you learned about your factions, playing them, maybe kind of where you want to take them in the future,
okay,
whatever.
Yeah, well, I'll say first of all about Infinity is that I think it's a very awesome game. Obviously, we played it pretty much for a month straight, and it didn't get boring, and we pretty much played it with the same stuff that we've had, and it didn't get monotonous or anything. And I think partially that is because the terrain build-up and everything like that is just always different. It's always unique, and you always have a different battlefield. And just the way you have to, just the strategies you have to work and use and stuff like that in order to be semi-successful. It's very interesting. It's a very in-depth game. And it's a very steep learning curve just because the, if you send a guy out in the middle of nowhere, he's going to get shot down. Yeah. It's just going to happen.
Doesn't matter how good he is.
If you stray from cover, you're going to get shot. Even if it's like from a regular infantry model, it's just going to happen. Second thing I'll say is I really, really like the models. The more stuff I buy for them, just put together, and you painted some stuff that just looks magnificent, and I want to really get around to painting some of my stuff because I feel bad because I haven't painted anything in like a year, not a year, like a month.
It's
2 months.
Bad when I'm shaming you into painting.
Yeah. But some of the directions I want to go. I want to get some Highlanders for my Ariadna. I'm honestly pretty happy where my combined is right now. I'd like to get some of their avatars and
tags.
I'd like to do some of that just because I like the models and because it's kind of the next step into playing the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, as far as like just a straight month of playing Infinity, I thought the game was awesome. And I wouldn't mind playing it a few more times.
Oh yeah.
We're definitely going to play it more, but
nope, we're shelving it forever.
We had our month, and now we're done.
Hope you guys like that month. Not coming around again until next year.
We learn a game thoroughly, and then we never play it.
You know what's sad? We could probably have a game for every month of the year.
Like a single game?
Yeah.
Oh, easily. With like all the board games we have? Easily.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It is.
We're not going to do that. No.
Because we could go like into the bookshelf and get like the old like Necromunda, like Mordheim, Battle Ball, all that stuff. Yeah, we could go easily. We could revamp Starship Troopers.
But we're not going to do that.
No. But it might be interesting to do that for like a month. Just do a different thing every day.
Old games and stuff. The one thing I will say, kind of to wrap up my thoughts and the experience I had with Infinity, is Infinity, every game is just really fresh because it doesn't boil down to, well, no, sometimes it does. If you don't have enough terrain, it boils down to the same game every time, where the person with the better weapons just wins because they have firing lanes and they win. But if you're playing with the proper amount of terrain, it is a lot of like high action, fast paced maneuvering. I like the fact that at no point is one player doing nothing while the other player does everything. I think that's really important for a good game system. I think a lot of companies are picking up on that. I know like Corvus Belli does it. Spartan does it. Hawk War Games did it with Drop Zone Commander. I want to say that Manic does it, I believe.
Yeah, I think
to an extent. Sure. But any game where both sides are doing something is good.
Yeah. And we talked about that during War Machine and Hordes month, where the biggest downfall of that game is that you have to just sit there for a turn and take it.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different thing.
I want to talk too about like entry into the game. Because I think that's something important for players that have never played the game before or new to mini wargaming in general. It's actually not an expensive game to get into to play.
No, it's
because until 3rd edition drops and they update all the rules, right now all the army lists, all the weapon lists are free on Corvus Belli's website.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use the Army Builder, which is a free program that is on infinitythegame.com's website, if you click on a rule for one of the models, it takes you right to their wiki, which tells you exactly what the rule is.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy a rule book. You don't have to buy any Army Creator software. All you really have to spend is, if you get it from the War Store or any other discount retailer online, $35 for a starter set, which is 6 guys, which is roughly 150 points, and a couple of D20s, which you'll probably have if you're a role-playing kind of person, or you can just buy cheap from a gaming store, and boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, and even with all the the stuff they have online, I mean, if we had Wi-Fi up here, we could easily just sit here and use. It might actually be a lot easier than using a rulebook. And I like buying rulebooks. I mean, I would say buy the rulebook.
They're really pretty
because they're really nice rulebooks and they're pretty well done. The print is a little bit small. That's the only complaint I'll have about the book. But other than that, it's really
the
nice.
biggest barrier to get into the game is the amount of terrain you need.
Yeah.
But if you're not super picky and you're willing to use like books and cans and like boxes, you can have plenty of terrain, and you don't have to. And doing it that way, you don't have to shell out a lot of money in the beginning to see if you like the game or not.
Yep.
So that's one of the big upsides for me. Another big I've 2 upsides so far is the interaction between players, and the entry cost to get into the game is pretty low. And the other positive for me is it's a very dynamic game. I mean, it's not just like move and shoot. It's move, and then do you shoot? Do you hack? Do you try to mark someone so you can hit them with a guided missile? Do you run an engineer up to take an objective, or to on-glue one of your guys that got hit with an adhesive launcher? Do you run a doctor up to try to heal a guy? There's a lot that goes on, or do you like jump a guy in? Do you bring him in from the side of the table? It's a very dynamic game, and I think that plays out really well on the table. And so I would say just the rules in general are a positive for me.
Very good rule and unique. I mean, it's different than any other tabletop game I've ever played. I've never played a tabletop game before that used D20s in the way it does.
Yeah. The only other game that I've played was Warzone, and that game is the game that as I knew it, is dead. I don't know what the new Warzone Resurrection is, but that's a whole other story. But let's see. My biggest gripe. My biggest downfall with the game. My biggest gripe and downfall would probably also be terrain. I mean, if you don't have it, or you don't have the proper terrain, you're just not gonna.
And I mean, as
not gonna do well.
As X40K players, we had a ton of 40K terrain,
which doesn't cut it.
And I mean, you can. It's just not. I don't think it's as good as it would be with like the really nice terrain you can get online. And I don't know exactly how much that costs. I don't think it's really too bad.
Yeah, I think it's $36 for like a decent sized apartment building.
And I think it'd probably be worth it with this game. I think. Yeah. And the thing is, once you get that terrain, you're good.
When you're only supposed to play this on like a 4x4 table, or even smaller, so you don't need a bunch of terrain.
Right. And I mean, if you're good at building terrain, you can always do that too.
I guess the other thing that's kind of a nitpick is you have to learn a lot of rules initially. Like, you have to learn what advanced, like, aerial deployment, what the different levels of that are, what the different levels of Valor are, what the different levels of camo, martial arts, Sixth Sense.
There's a lot of stuff.
Which, if you have access to the internet and the wiki, the Infinity Wiki, it's really not that bad. But if you don't, it's hard. You have to flip back and forth between up to 3 rule books.
Yep.
But that's just a small nitpick. Yeah. Overall, I'd say it's probably one of the better miniatures games I've played in a while.
Definitely.
And especially for that style, like a sci-fi skirmish game, because can't really think of many other sci-fi skirmish games off the top of my head.
Yeah. Maybe Dead Zone, which it's not. I mean, it's more of a board game, but it is kind of that that type of thing. But,
that's really the only one I can think of off the top of my head that we play.
Right.
But even then,
because I mean, let's face it, 40K is not a skirmish game,
and it's not really science fiction either. It's science fantasy.
Right.
But we're not. No, that's another can of worms. I promise you, it's coming one of these days, and it's going to be ugly and long. But anyway, that's Infinity. Anything you want to say in closing
I think
for Infinity?
We pretty much covered everything there, and then we can just move on to the next subject, I guess, which is...
If you've made it through the past 10 minutes and 48 seconds, now is announcement time!
Yes.
As players who follow Spartan games and enjoy Dystopian Wars know, recently, a new rulebook and new 2-player starter set has just dropped for Dystopian Wars.
And I think the whole pool shed is just extremely excited about it. I mean, and one thing that's awesome is that they have actually released not all of the rules, but all of the
I think there's like six or seven main fleets.
What is it? It's the Prussians, the Americans, Britons, French, Antarcticans, and Russians. So
seven.
Six. Might be 7. I'm not sure.
Brits, Empire of the Blazing Sun.
Oh, 7. Empire Blazing Sun.
Americans and Prussians.
Yep.
And then Antarcticans, Russians, and French.
Yep.
So 7.
Yep.
All the 2.0 rules for the fleets, like stats, have been put up on their website. I just ordered today Operation Shadowhunter, which is a new player starter set. So sometime this coming week, we will have the 2.0 rulebook, and I will have new shiny toys for my Americans.
Yep, and there are a lot of things in the PDS that
look
are new.
Promising, and we don't know what they are.
Yeah, and they don't have the actual rulebook up, so we don't know what, like, there are things like the Britons have piercing torpedoes, which I have no idea what that is. The Prussians have something called, like, a bomb array, a Tesla bomb array or something. I have no idea what that does. There's a lot of other stuff. It seems like they added a lot of MARs. Also, there are a few other things they have that are new, like the Commodore rules, I think.
Yeah,
are a little bit different.
Yeah.
And there's some other things.
Formations now.
There are formations, and there are different types of crew you can have on your ships, which I'm not sure how that works yet either. But we just know it's there.
Needless to say, all of this excited rambling is indicating that this month, the month of June...
Yes.
I had to check because I get June, confused when I'm not in school.
August,
it's But this month, the month of June, will be Dystopian Wars month.
Yeah.
Which means we're going to be playing a lot of games. We're going to do lots of... I think at this point we know our fleets well enough. We can do some tacticas. Maybe do some background, like talk about the background.
Yes, some lore.
I'm going to try my damnedest to get my Russians fully painted. Which I have probably 2/3 of the fleet painted. I have 1/3 left to do. And then I don't know if I'm going to try to... I don't know what other force I'm going to get started painting. Either...
Americans?
Maybe I'll just do the Russian ground forces, too.
I'm going to try as hard as I can to paint my Prussians. I think the Ottomans are going to take a lot of skill. So I want to get used to painting the Prussians, which seem a little bit simpler. Not they don't look simple, but I want to get used to painting these boats and stuff like that. And I haven't really painted any of my stuff yet, so I really have to get around and actually paint. Just start sitting down maybe for half an hour or so every night, and just painting after work or something like that. Just because I mean, after seeing your Russians, which I think look great, I really want to start painting some of my stuff. I mean, and these are really nice models. I always really have liked their models, and it just adds so much to the game and to the model when you paint it. And I think, and I don't have a whole lot of stuff, so it shouldn't take too long to paint. Hopefully, I'm already trying to talk myself out of it. You see that?
Yeah, I see that.
But no, I'm.
See, what we'll do is we'll just make you come down on Sundays, and we'll sit up here and paint.
Yeah.
For an hour or two.
Because I don't have a very good paint set at home. And you have the monster one here.
Yeah. I might be able to show you some techniques.
Yeah.
So, But that's the big reveal for
Dystopian Wars. We're going to be playing that again. After a year of playing it, it's like they brought out a new rulebook. It's like, I'm going to play this.
Yeah.
We've also been kind of looking into more Firestorm Armada stuff.
Did get the new 2.0 rulebook for that. We have I think all the starters for for the original fleets that came out with all the starters. And I think the carriers that went with them.
And we have the Directorate and
the
Ralthuza. But there are a few others that were released afterwards we don't have.
But that's in the future somewhere.
Yeah.
And pretty sure once the new expansion for Drop Zone Commander drops,
probably.
We're pulling the ripcord and going in hard. Yeah. We don't know how to say no.
There's also Mana Game stuff.
Yeah, there's Dead Zone, Kings of War, and...
Well, Dead Zone, I already have that board game, so...
Yeah, that still doesn't mean I'm not going to buy, the two other factions for it, because I like them. But anyway.
Yeah, that's already gone on for
the only other thing to keep your eyes open for coming here from us will be Wednesdays, hopefully. I am hopefully going to be... Wow, I said hopefully 3 times. Hopefully.
Hopefully you will not say hopefully.
Hopefully. We can stop saying hopefully. Anyway, I will be running a new Pathfinder RPG in a campaign setting that I'm cooking up. So I'm going to see if everyone that's willing to participate will be willing to be caught on camera. And I'm doing it again. I'm saying one word just over and over again. Caught on camera, and if they are, I'm going to set the laptop up somewhere on one of the corners of the table, try to get everybody in the frame, and record our gaming session at least... an hour of it. Maybe not the whole night. If I do the whole... Is it doo-doo? If I do the whole night, I'll break it up into chunks.
Yeah. Even something like that might be cool, just do a podcast, where you just set up audio, and you just listen to what's going on. That might be kind of cool. I think
we don't have any of the equipment to do that.
No, but you could record it on this, and then just do it to a blank screen if we can't get a...
Yeah, I could do...
Get a good picture.
Just like a... I don't know how I would do that, but yeah, we could try that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're still new at the editing thing, folks. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for us here at Bullshit Games, because we rambled for 18 minutes. Yeah. So hopefully you liked the video. If there's anything you want to let us know about Infinity that we might have missed, or you want to voice your comments on the game, or your factions, leave it in the comments below. If you're excited... If you're excited for Dystopian Wars, give us a thumbs up, like the video.
I know I'm excited, man.
I am super excited. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I've been studying the PDFs. It's so awesome they put them online.
It is.
It's great.
It is. If you want to help us out, subscribe to the channel. That's always great. Or share us with your friends, so maybe they can subscribe to the channel. And I think we'll just see you guys next time here at Bullshit Games.